Today I will continue discussing Chapter 2. Here are the highlights. Now let us start with the topic disposal of factory overhead balance. During the year, the balance in the factory overhead account is carried forward and reported as deferred debit or credit on the monthly balance sheets. If for computing the predetermined overhead rate are reasonably accurate, the ending balance of factory overhead should be relatively small. For this reason, the balance over factory overhead at the end of the year is disposed of by transferring it to the cost of goods sold account. To give us a better understanding, let us have this simple example. If an ending debit balance, or underapplied overhead, in the factory head account is disposed, we will have the following entry. On the other hand, if there is an ending credit balance, which means overapplied overhead, it is disposed of by the entry as follows. Understanding over or underapplied factory overhead is less complicated than it seems. It is simply the difference between the factory overhead cost applied as the job progresses, and the actual factory overhead cost during a designated statement period, such as a month, quarter or year. In the case of overapplied factory overhead, if a shoe company predicts $1 million in factory overhead in a given year but only spends $750,000, then the remaining $250,000 that was not spent is called overapplied factory overhead. On the other hand, if this same shoe company spends $1,100,000, when they only predicted $1 million in factory overhead expenses, the additional $100,000 spent is known as underapplied factory overhead. To illustrate the journal entry on the underapplied overhead balance, let's say balance is $150. This will be the following entry. Now, let us forward to the next topic, which is the work in process. Work in process is the term used to describe partially completed goods, which are typically turned from raw materials to finished products within a short period. See the sample illustration. During the period, work in process is increased or debited for the following: 1. Direct materials cost. 2. Direct labor cost. 3. Applied factory overhead cost. To illustrate, the work in process account for Legend guitars is shown in Exhibit 7. The balance of work in process on December 1, 2016, beginning balance, was $3,000. As shown in Exhibit 7, this balance relates to Job 71, which was the only job in process. On this date, during December, work in process was debited for the following: